I guess this big line here is to show how severe it is. I thought the symbols would get bigger. No. See, the problem is if I add a saw, right, it's going to increase squalor. So I don't want to do that, right? Makes sense. Logical thing. So then, obviously, the next thing would just be build another district. And boy, do I got a district for you. So I try to avoid the people. Well, sorry about that, guys. Oh, I should research watchtowers at some point. I think that's what I was looking for. There's got to be something. It can't just all be negative towards squalor. That doesn't make any sense. It's not a balanced game. There may not be anything for me to research to reduce squalor. Ventilation tower. Oh, I could see if I could put more ventilation towers down. I don't think so, though, because those are buildings. This. And I kind of built my housing districts in a not optimal way where I can't really expand any of them. Don't seem to have any edicts or laws that I could pass to change that would decrease squalor at all. It's unfortunate. Oh, they did. Wait, let's take a look at see what they got. The Lovers. A pair of automatons lie buried in the snow. The tracks show they lost their navigational bearings and followed each other in circles. That's hilarious. Like ants. We could take their cores or repair the automatons to work in New London. Let's repair them. Don't need the cores right now. There is a hunting camp. And then... Actually, that's pretty good. Judging from the remains, dozens of vehicles were manned and loaded here. Our scouts have found some maps in a half-buried crate, each marked with possible locations of other generator cities. One was annotated with the thick letters R-O-W-E-T-T, nose. They left with such enthusiasm. The many tools and scrap pieces were left buried in the snow. Take it back. This might not be a bad idea, especially if I'm struggling with it a bit. It is week 402, day 4. We have the whiteout arriving in I don't know how many days. And the temperatures are going to drop significantly. We need to prepare. As of right now, we have 14,000 oil in the stockpile. Something tells me that's not going to be remotely enough. So there's been a small update since we last played. There's been like a quality of life update for Frostpunk. So now I could cancel construction. I can cancel, you know, the frost breaking, which is great and quite insane that it didn't exist beforehand. Steward, the Pilgrims have decided to send their strongest travelers out before the whiteout to search for the surrounding area for supplies. With the Proxys shields, they tend to walk the frost and escape, united under one tent and guided by their prospect's vision. They don't appear to be asking. Let them leave. 112 people leave. I don't care. It's your death wish, not mine. They need a little bit more food, so we'll supply them. We have excess oil that we're going to supply to New London. A lot of it, please. More. Let's do the equal pay. Because I'm curious, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm curious if these other 3 up top have anything to do, or at least help us reduce squalor in any kind of way. It might not. You know, there might not be anything that help squalor up here, but there's got to be something somewhere. Let's vote for it. 51 required to pass. There we go.
The proposed law has been approved.
Whiteout ends Stewart's rallies. Okay, so now we're in the whiteout. The whiteout forced them to go home. So our outposts are frozen. We have enough food to last 163 weeks. Enough materials stockpiled to last 26 weeks, which is great. And, well, that's filled in. Last, okay. It's just housing. We have enough coal stockpiled to last 160 weeks. And I don't know about oil. I have no idea how long the whiteout lasts for. I don't know anything about it. I'm guessing until here, the warmer season. Last 4 whiteout.
Expected to reach 150 knots.
It's negative 130 out right now. No, it's fine. I'm warm. I feel warm. Not much to do except just fast forward and see how everything kind of happens, right? I mean, we have enough stockpiled, so I think we're going to be okay. The only thing that we might run out of is materials, but that lasts for 34 weeks. So here's the whiteout. So we have the whiteout in New London, but not in the old Dreadnought. We'll just do the housing block. Those left behind. Steward, over the howling winds of the whiteout, the pilgrims have accused the stewards of indoctrinating pilgrim children into the youth program. Since the other pilgrims left, the kids began leaving for the stewards in droves. Pilgrims assert that the stewards are trying to swear the children into their ranks before the pilgrim mentors return. The stewards retain that their children have been abandoned, left adrift with no role model to guide them. I lost my daughter last winter, one old steward says. When I spoke with Abigail, well, it was like talking to my little girl. Nope. There was no ill intent. We need to do something about stuff. About crime. So, surveillance watchtowers, patrol watchtowers, watchtower, and then just watchtower. Crime is slightly decreased. Crime is slightly decreased. I mean, it's a watchtower. There's not much else to it. Oh, look, the housing block. Look at that. So, it's a tower designed to provide shelter in a large number of citizens in a limited amount of space. Well, the good news is the whiteout's almost done.
Trust that the
storm leaves. All negative effects are removed.
We are calling you.
Warm at last. Life inside the city is now warmer than New London has ever known. People walk the streets in disbelief. They can remove shawls, coats, layers of clothes that for so many years were necessary, even in the best of conditions. Now they peel like old skin. It's warm. People look at each other as if in a dream. Trust is rises slightly. Tension is slightly decreased. We may also research hospitals. Covering a hospital. Let's research a normal hospital. More searching around for things. Let's launch expedition here. What happened? Ice turned to steam as the whiteout wanes, but it's clear that we are far from keeping New London warm forever. The whiteouts are now gone. What will we do if the horrors of the whiteout years return? Asked the stewards. If we want to withstand them without fear, we must improve the generator even more, and it will require a great deal of cores. Dozens. We only know of one site with so many cores, the metal roots of Winterhome's ruined generator. Our current generator will not be enough. We need to colonize Winterhome to get more cores to upgrade the generator further. We need to change our plans. Guess we gotta find Winterhome. Return to Winterhome. Colonize Winterhome. Past the Gorg in the Cursed Valley lies the failed city of Winterhome. Our scouts have avoided the ruins for years. Yet, without its core, we cannot upgrade the generator to its full potential. We must reach for Winterhome and chart the area around it. We should take the time to prepare the resources and workforce. Returning to Winterhome will pose significant difficulties. The coal and oil and stuff is up off my screen, like cut off completely. And I have absolutely no idea why. There's nothing I can really utilize to increase Squalor. Pressure point. Steward, a handful of desperate pilgrims gathered in front of the generator earlier today. One spoke to a gathered crowd as they painted themselves in oil. She detailed a different plan for Winterhome, one that will breathe a second life into the cursed land. We cannot destroy Winterhome for its cores. We must settle it. We must adapt. This is our last chance to make you hear us, Steward, so we must be loud. And with that, they set themselves alight. Rescue teams are able to save the would-be martyrs, but our people are clearly shaken by immolation. The stewards urge you to get ahead of the narrative before people are swayed to their cause. What should do? Spin the narrative. Clearly, they are disruptive individuals. We should help our people see that. Just for people to interpret the situation appropriately. 646 new members. That's fine. That's the infinite deposit. I don't know why it's saying it's almost depleted. Again, with this, it's saying this one's almost depleted too, but they're infinite deposits, so they're not going to deplete. 38 weeks. Again, another infinite deposit that the game is telling me that it's almost depleted. That's extremely annoying. Because I was waiting for these guys to run out so I could destroy them. They're not going to be destroyed. They're going to be there forever. 25, 25, 10. Fantastic. Is there really just absolutely nothing to decrease Squalor? I'm just totally boned for it. Punished for using automation forever for no reason. Because that's silly. What did we find? What did we find? An old empire under the snow lies a conveyor of automatons with lively and silver husks. The machine seems to come from the Ashtop Mountains. Scott managed to decipher the last instructions. If no one arrives, seek survivors. Machines will perform useful labor. New London! Yes! Just what I need. The crowd surviving in the hunting shacks have basically chicken pox all over their skin. Makes them more resilient to the cold. We'll come back to that. Let's see. The rain here seems to be slowly dying away to the constant storms and a lack of edible fauna. They won't survive too many more years. Perhaps we should send out the hunters while we can. Food options. Only warehouse sits in a declapidated track. Oh, well, let's take the cores. Obviously. Still too dangerous to turn this back on. Launch expedition there because we can. Let's build some watchtowers, huh? Build 2 watchtowers. They'll help keep crime under control. And then once we finish with the hospital research here, I can build a hospital. I thought I expanded. Oh, there we go. But to say, I know I expanded 2 more districts. I guess we should research the heat generator, huh? Research. We're gonna need 40 cores to upgrade it one more time. Central eating calculation process on the fly to optimize oil usage and regulate overdrive, increasing its power while reducing risks.
Hear us.
Pilgrim protest. Sure, the pilgrims have taken to the streets in protest against the growing dependence on oil and the generator. We cannot stand by and let the stewards further bind the city to a single point of failure. We kept silent as the whiteout endangered us all, but no more. They evidently feel they have no further recourse to make their distant known. They've deployed their tents to the middle of the districts, joining them together, blocking production lines. What should we do? Further their vision, accept their demands. No. Search frontier footholds. Pathfinder scouts. Raise negotiations. Raise relations to neutral. That's not good. I guess we could research. I mean, researching is just researching. I can always research either direction and it doesn't matter. Due to poor relations, the pilgrims have begun to protest and seek to change the direction you're leading the city. Production is halted in affected districts. For every 1,000 of their supporters, they will spread to another one over time. You can negotiate to end the disruptions or quell them with guards. It will be more difficult and more violent, the higher the fear of protest. Nullifying the fear will also prevent them from blocking the district fully, as well as ultimately make the protest collapse on its own. Well, they're in a housing district, so don't really care. Should also turn this guy back on. Help me research stuff as quickly as possible. I see we've stopped crime. That's good. Let's see. In the Mountain Pass stands an old loading station, likely used to connect Output 11 with the distant hot springs. Inside, we found a body of an elderly man who had frozen to death while waiting for transport that never arrived. We have no need for this unless we reestablish contact with the hot springs. Requires a trail to the city. What benefit would that bring me? I don't know, let's find out. Sir, the pilgrims' protests have spread to our district. Some of the more radical members use the opportunity to sack the local mechanical factory. We never wanted this, screamed the crowd, and yet the stewards built it with our resources and our labor. Set a fire amidst the crowds of joy. The mechanical factory soon collapsed. Okay. We'll reconnect this here and hopefully get some more people into the city. Let's fund their projects. I'm trying to get them better relations with the Frostlanders so that they can decrease the tensions, de-radicalize the pilgrims. Steward, city unrest is in the air as the different communities of the city find it increasingly difficult to live side by side. Maybe we should reinforce the cohesion of our people. Since you are popular with citizens, we took it upon ourselves to write a collection of quotes to inspire people in your name. Tension is high, but high trust gives you a chance to mitigate it. Sure! Tension extremely decreases as long as your trust doesn't fall below respected. Which it currently is. It feels like everything in this game just increases squalor. There's nothing to decrease it. Oh! Look at that. That's pretty good. I should build that. I'd like to build waste incinerator. Boink. Another waste incinerator. Thank you. New laws. Sure, yeah. Go for it. I don't care. Pathfinder Scouts was the one that I actually kind of liked the idea of a bit more.
The votes are in. The measure passes.
Can you explain how you use so much heat? I mean, I don't know how much there is to explain. Are you all happy now? Everyone good? Okay. Pilgrim's protest is over. Good, thank you. Good riddance. The storm's almost passed. I kind of see it. I can see a little bit better.
Steward!
Path to power. Steward, the pilgrims' protests have terrified many in the city. Many are calling for a response from the council. The captain limited the steward's powers, but he couldn't have foreseen this scent. Maybe the time has come to increase our leader's authority for the safety of our city. Several proposals have been suggested that will help us deal with the protests. It's up to you to decide if we will place them on the agenda. Perhaps later. Extremely decreased by waste restoration. Yeah, okay, it's diminishing. Oh, thank God, finally! Why is the tension so high? Guys, squalors are increasing. Like, give me a couple of weeks. Jesus. Promise to the pilgrims. Pilgrims are delighted you kept your word. Now they look upon your rule more favorably. Okay. Cool. Hello, my friends. I wanted to build the advanced pump jack. There we go. Also, a housing district. Hot air! Steward, a crowd. Enraged people gathered at the district hub. They were all carrying copies of quotations from our steward that they threw in a pile of fire. Tensions greatly increased. Well, good luck, game. Outpost LP. Well, just put to a vote. If it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't care either way.
The delegates have spoken.
That is the first time
law
I've seen a
is
law rejected.
tabled.
Held on the Pilgrim's proposal. It was rejected, and I didn't do anything to sway people one way or the other. So they can't be mad at me. It was their responsibility.
Steward!
Boiling tensions. Steward, the tensions have risen to a fever point and threaten to tear the city apart. An angry mob swarms the streets. You must reduce tension to severe before the city falls. Okay. How long do I have? 74 weeks! I don't think it's an issue. Once Squalor finally decreases here, we'll have everything under control. Promise kept. Trust rises. Cool. And that trust now have the max amount of trust and the highest amount of tension. I love that so much. I love that so much. It's so silly. Tension crisis averted. That was close. Well, wonderful. I'm glad we could all come to the same agreement. Oh, look at that. Squalor is finally stable. F you, game. When you're stable. Speaking of stable, I actually have to kind of address that here. Oh, well, I wonder if it's enough if I just expand out here. If I build the ventilation stuff, if that will be just enough to decrease it. Oh, but I could build these. Less people working always sounds like a great idea, right? I should utilize these more. I kind of forget about them sometimes. There we go. That'll free up a lot of people. I should do that in New London. Why am I not doing that in New London? I kind of did, but I kind of stopped. I have the heat. I should just utilize it. I still find it absolutely hilarious that people are needed in the housing districts. It just seems so silly. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Oh, the steward had more of a spine, really. When the brat misbehaves, you give them a good thrashing, not some treats. But somehow, when the filthy pilgrims kick and scream, they get their way. Well, we can throw fists too. You negotiate with the pilgrims, causing the stewards to radicalize. Oh, stewards. Oh, stewards. De-radicalize immediately. Okay, now that I have more people. Oh, I need a core. Well, hot springs, you fulfill your purpose. Dismantle. Faster. Thank you. Now I can build my thing. Boop. Anything else to research? Let's research the bio-waste hothouse. Because we're not making enough food anymore. I think we're gonna build this. Because we're coming to a point now where we're really relying on a lot of our outposts for stuff. I have 20 people. Here we go, launch expedition. Here should have winter home. Food, hot food in exchange for nothing. They could have just ignored me, discarded me. I would have understood. Instead, they fed me, clothed me, smiled at me like I'm a person. I never thought I'd see the day when my city would provide for someone like me, someone who can only take. One day I'll thank the prepper. I'll give them back. The city has made a step towards equality. That's right. Fantastic. Deposit fully extracted. Then why are you still here? Go away. Disappear from my map. I don't need to see you anymore. If you're no use to me, then why bother? Let's build in our industrial district. Specifically only for... what are they called? The waste incineration facility. Ventilation tower. There we go. That should help out the Squalor over here. Keep things a bit more under control. And then obviously, once the squalor decreases, the health will drop down too. What's going on? What's up? Inequality Street. Stuart, a brawl has erupted between street sweepers assigned to different districts. It's bloody unfair. We bust our butts, scrubbing coal dust out of gutters near the generator, while those lazy sods twiddle their cocks in a half-empty housing district, all for the same pay. So the city central district sweeper. The stewards agree. The equal pay law rewards sloth and punishes industry, said one of the delegates. It's fundamentally wrong, but if it must remain, at least account for once for difficulty, is one assignment. We do. We'll just stay firm. Oh, the ruins of Winterhome. Winterhome is a cursed history. A series of corrupt leaders pushed the city's generator beyond its limits. At last, the competent leader took charge, but then the generator must have been permanently damaged by and doomed to explode. The city's people had no choice but to gather all they could to a nearby dreadnought and take their chances in the Frostland. Rumor has it that the ruins still hold valuable resources, but our scouts avoid the site, fearing toxic gases leaking from the fissures in the ground and ghosts that wail through the night. Explore. The dreadnought huts. An ancient, empty dreadnought hull towers over the flat snow. Our scouts would meet some people living in the shelter. The people have asked us to take them to New London, if only so they could further away from the ruins of Winterhome. Everyone who goes there comes back with a cough that only worsens. One of the camp leaders says, stay away. Yeah, take him back. Great, now we're gonna have 3 colonies to worry about. Let's launch an expedition over here, hopefully find some cores, bring it back to New London to get Squalor under control. I'd like to now build ventilation. There.
Steward!
Fighting dirty, equal pay. Steward, 14 street sweepers had to seek medical attention after yet another bloody brawl. The fight stemmed yet again from the jealousy over the perceived ease of some assignments. Those with harder tasks tried to force their fellows with light work to swap districts. It ended in a stalemate. I want to build another hospital, so we're gonna build a hospital there. Have we finished exploring? Not quite. Why did you guys get so decreased so much? What happened?
Steward.
Pilgrims began protesting. No. I need to see what this is first. Bro, they're so annoying. For the guards to quell the protest in the dense housing district. Just stop. I already did this once, I'm not doing it again. Some survivors of an expedition have taken refuge in an old coal mine, but they refuse to return to New London without the commander. He's our only hope. He'll come back, and he'll bring the secrets to the first spring with him. We can find out what happened to the rest of the expedition, perhaps give them home. He'll never return. Take those people back to New London. I've already done that. An abandoned research station battles the wind. Our scouts found a sealed case of letters at the lab of the Fortitude base, but the station's purpose remains unclear. A final note is addressed to Rowett himself. We won't need the others after all. We could do it ourselves. The scientific equipment is gone, but we could dismantle the structure itself. Let's leave it. Oh, game, thank you. Look over here. Waste. Boink. I don't want to see any more squalor. Promise kept. Because you reduce squalor. Fantastic. Okay, now that they have an excess of oil, transfer it out. We're doing really bad on food. So let's do something about that. And then let's take advantage of our hubs. Never mind, I'm broke. The deer. We can harvest. Harvesting that guy. Over here. I don't want to take a chance on that. Ski. Oh, hey, what's going on over here? Over the... Let's see what we got. Woods. to produce goods. Over the snowy valley towers a manor complete with marble bathroom or ballroom and an indoor pool of hot spring water. A scouts walk straight past the classic library and Turner seascapes to be amazed by the fur coats and feeling gear in the service quarters as well as the silver sinking knives. Okay. Take the parts. And yeah, let's go ahead and harvest here. And over here, let's harvest them as well. That'll help our immediate food situation. Let's explore there. And here as well. Look at that, guys! I will say, from the start of today, when our squalor was as high as it possibly probably could be in the entire game, we have now decreased it significantly. And I'm happy about that. Look at our food is growing rapidly. And there is no more hunger. Can I build more hospitals? That'd be great. I'd love to do that. I can. I'll build one more. Boink. That should help get our health situation a little bit more under control. Would be nice.